Mount Lassen is the headwaters of the Feather River. We're here on the North Fork where we're looking at a reintroduction study for spring run Chinook salmon. So salmon habitat has declined significantly in the past 100 years in California because of all the dams that have been created. Historically, spring run Chinook salmon would have accessed habitat above Lake Elsinore. So we're here looking at what the possibility is of reintroducing salmon to this particular part of the watershed. So to make this project happen, we had to start collecting eggs back in October at the Feather River Fish Hatchery in Orville. So we took a very select group of eggs and we incubated them separate from all of the other normal production eggs at the hatchery. And then after that quarantine period, we were able to bring those eggs up into the watershed and then place them either into one of the egg boxes or into the gravel directly with the egg injection process. So we used two methods of egg injection so that we would have a better understanding and have more control over how those eggs would emerge. So we used an egg box method that's normally used for reintroduction programs. It allows you to have a lot of control over checking on those eggs right throughout the incubation period. It takes several months in an area like this where the temperatures are very cold for the eggs to incubate. So we want to be able to go back after a few weeks or a few months to check on those eggs and see how they're doing. We also used an egg injection method, which actually placed eggs directly into the gravel. And that was done so that we could mimic the most natural behavior we possibly could. So those eggs are actually incubating in native material, in that gravel, then they have to swim up, emerge through the gravel as they develop and then migrate downstream. So just before we think those eggs are going to hatch and then emerge from the gravel, we're placing emergence traps over those artificial redds so that we can determine how many are actually surviving in that artificial environment. So any reintroduction program, you need to be able to capture the juveniles on their way out. With Chester Diversion Dam, we have an artificial structure that was built in the 1970s that allows us to trap juveniles at a very high rate. So we have traps at the Chester Diversion Dam that are intended for most of the year when flows are stable, and then we have traps downstream that are intended for when flows are high during the snow melt. Trapping the juveniles as they migrate downstream is just the first step in this study. So we'll be coming out over the summer and the coming months to see how the juveniles are behaving in the system. So are they staying and rearing in the system, or are they migrating out? These are all the things that might happen in a watershed like this where salmon haven't been for over 100 years.